Finding Faith in Funny. My name is Chase. Thank you for listening. Listen, I don't usually do 2 episodes in a week. There's been a few times where I've, posted a phone call or something that I made midweek, but usually I only record an episode in the middle of the week, not on a Monday, when I have something else to offer. And today is no different, because I'm recording this on a Tuesday night, and this will come up Thursday morning, but I do have something to offer you. You see, I went and saw the musical Come From Away for the second time the other day. And it was put on by the Stage Door here locally in St. George, Utah, which they perform out of the Electric Theater. And apparently, I'm going to go back and see it a third time because it's that good. I mean, I don't know if at this point, if I'm just a fan or if somehow I legally own timeshare property in Newfoundland. Seriously, like the musical really is incredible. And far be it for me to hop on my comedy podcast platform and praise a musical, but it's just one of those shows where you're laughing 1 minute and you're crying the next minute. And I'm not talking about that fake 1 tear rolls down your cheek because you want your wife to think you're a sensitive guy for crying. I'm talking about your borderline ugly crying. The kind where you hope nobody turns the house lights on too soon because the story that they tell is real. It's not based on a true story. It is a true story. And for anyone who is alive on September 11th, 2001, whatever emotions or feelings you have or had about that day, they come back immediately. You remember where you were. You remember who told you. You remember staring at the TV, trying to understand what was happening. And it's one of those moments in history where everyone collectively remembers exactly where they were. And then this musical comes along and reminds you of something that I had forgotten. And it's something that I think most of America has probably forgotten right now. And that is the fact that people are good. I mean, not all people. I'm not going to sound crazy, but most people are good. The entire story of Come From Away is about 7,000 passengers spread across 38 planes that had to land in Newfoundland just to open their doors. All the planes got grounded. There were no flights across America for like 5 days, and 7 of those planes went to this little town in Canada, far northern Canada, in Gander, in Newfoundland. I don't know if it's Newfoundland or Newfoundland. I've seen the show twice. I still don't know. But it's spelled Newfoundland, but I think people pronounce it Newfoundland. I don't know. Whatever it is. 7,000 people get stranded in a town that's population is maybe 9,000 people. And the people in Gander just opened their doors. There was no background checks. There was no political tests. There was no questions like, who did you vote for? Or what's your opinion on X, Y, or Z? Are you a dog person or a cat person? They just saw people in need and said, come on in. We got you. And can you imagine that happening today in any major city in the United States? Today we would probably, if that happened, and plain 7,000 people were diverted to anywhere in the continental U.S., most places would probably form 3 committees and argue on Facebook for 6 weeks and start a hashtag campaign before anyone was able to even get a sandwich. But these people, they just helped. And that's such a cool reminder that humanity is often at its best during the worst moments. And I think that's why this show hits me so hard. Because we're living in a really divided world. I'm almost 40 years old, and I haven't seen a lot of things in my life, but I don't remember seeing our country this divided. Everywhere you look, people are going to argue about politics, religion, sports. And, I mean, you rarely find a group of people who agree on what to eat for lunch. But then you watch Come From Away and you remember something, that before we are Republicans and before we are Democrats, before we are religious, before we are not religious, before we are gay, straight, conservative, liberal, or whatever label we put on ourselves, we're just people. And sometimes people do amazing things for each other. And that's the message that keeps bringing me back to this musical. The story really is not about what happened on 9/11. The story is about humanity. It's a story about kindness. It's a story about ordinary people becoming heroes simply because they just chose compassion. And honestly, I think we need more stories like that. Because the internet has convinced us that we should hate each other. But real life and stories like this tell a different story. Real life is really when you see neighbors helping neighbors, strangers donating blood, people showing up with casseroles when someone dies. And apparently, it's an entire Canadian town saying, "You've been through enough. Come stay with us." The other part of the story is maybe it's just time we admit that Canadians might be too nice. Because again, I think if 7,000 people show up in my town, we're going to have to talk about the fact that my town might have some frozen pizzas and a couple of bathrooms, and we're just going to have to figure the rest out. But the people in Gander, they're just built differently. So if you haven't seen Come From Away, go see it. You have an opportunity. There are shows at the Electric Theater if you're in southern Utah, in St. George. They have a show Thursday night, July 2nd, and Friday night, July 3rd. And then the following week on July 9th, 10th, and 11th, there are shows all 3 nights. There are 5 shows left to see. It's worth the price of admission. It's worth every laughter in it. It's worth every tear. And yes, you're not going to want to wear mascara because you're going to laugh and you're going to cry. And most importantly, you're going to walk away remembering that even in the darkest moments, that people are still really good. And there's a lot of really good people and things that happen in this world. And that's where we need to focus. That's where we find a little bit more faith in humanity.